What a performance today. You can't underestimate that, can you? Coming to the Mount and winning 34 points to 6.
Yeah, it's. Obviously I've played here for 5 years. I know just what a tough place it is. And to be fair, since I left the club, they've gone from strength to strength really. So I don't think I'd have to check the fixtures and that, but I don't think there's anybody come here and done the job we've done on them all year, to be honest. So yeah, really pleased.
And when you went in at half time and keeping them to 0 when they were going down that slope, how did you feel? How important was it to get that 10-0 advantage going in?
Yeah, it was important. In terms of tosses, I was a bit nervous about it because it can have a fair old bearing on the game, can't it, going up and down the slope? And fortunately we won, and I was very keen to go up the slope. But just 10 points to nothing. What I said to the boys before I went out was it 2 tries and we've lost, so you can't take anything for granted. I think the other thing as well with the slope is that just depending on how the teams are going, the team that's up the slope, if they're in the ascendancy, the defence have got to retreat uphill, which is really quite difficult. So, which Batley did to us occasionally in the second half. You can get a rolling if you're not careful. So, game was far from won at half time, but it was a good foundation and half a job done. We just had to go out there and obviously execute the game plan we'd done for the first 40 for the next 40, if that makes sense.
And in that first 40, Batley had quite a few sets of 6 on the Featherstone Rovers line, and we managed to keep them out, didn't we? And how important was that defence in sort of setting up that platform for the halfbacks of Briggs and Thackeray to have a good game today? Yeah,
I think obviously it's physics, isn't it, in terms of the slope. When you're playing up the hill at Batley, you're going to do a bit of defending on your own line, and I think the team that's probably most resolute on their own line generally go on to win the game, really. So I think the middle were outstanding. I thought they did a great job because they're a good bunch. Their middle's a big strong fellas, Keegan, Brownie, people like that. Good nines getting out on the back of that as well. So credit to the middle. I think they made it easy for the edges. And then obviously I thought again, backing up from last week, I thought both the half-backs had real strong games, particularly in second half. And in terms of game smarts, just knowing when to bomb them, when to put the ball out. Second half, thought kicking game was excellent. 40-20s as well, which is obviously, a big relief to forwards in middle or working hard to just, to get that double set is important. I thought, credit to the half-backs, well done, but it was a team effort, wasn't it? They couldn't have done what they did if the middles hadn't done what they did, so pleased with the group all round, really. It
was a massive team effort, and we've got Halifax next week. We talked about it being almost like 3 cup finals left for Featherstone, isn't it? And Halifax have gone down quite heavily at Leigh today, so are you looking forward to that game next week at Halifax?
Yeah, I think the game at Leigh, I don't think it'll have a massive bearing on what we do next week. Obviously teams are desperate, and it's very much like a cup final mentality, isn't it? Because there's no second chances. Never had an easy game at the Shea in my career, and I don't anticipate having one next week. I think obviously we're drawing a lot of positives from today, but at the same time, if we don't turn up and get the job done next week, then today's been for nothing, hasn't it? So obviously we'll enjoy ourselves, relax a bit tonight, but then Tuesday we come, dust ourselves down. It needs to be an intense and good week's prep for what's going to be, I'd say, an even harder game next week.
Tim, thanks very much for speaking to us.
Anytime, thank you.
John Sharp, Batley 6, Featherstone Rovers 34. How good does that scoreline sound?
Sounds great, it really does. It's the scoreline's irrelevant really. It was very much about cup tie football. We felt in my own mind it was like a quarter final. We won that quarter final, now we're in a semi. We've done ever so well this year to get ourselves into a position where our season's still alive and we're looking at making the playoffs. We've had a raft of injuries. Our pivots have never played together all year. Basically, I think it's about 6 or 8 games have played together, and we can just see them starting to gel. So delighted with the win, really pleased with the win. Skills, tries, defensive efforts they were outstanding, weren't they? Probably the best performance this year.
And right from the off in that first half, you could tell that the team really meant business. That first set of 6. Good set of 6, and the ball was drilled to the Batley 10 metre, and that set up the platform for the game. And from then on, Featherstone basically just steamrolled Batley, didn't they, in that first half?
Yeah, your rugby as well. I know Matty Wilder came over and said that could tell the attitude of the team in the first set and how they executed the game plan. And going in 10-0 up at half time, it was a real psychological boost for us. Knowing the second half that we got some big blokes coming down the hill and gave us that opportunity and that enthusiasm. I think that we knew we'd done such a good job in that first half and only used 3 changes until I think Bostock came off on 38 minutes. He was just emptied, but really pleased with that first half. And the attitude of the players has been good, really good. I know there's a bit of adversity around the joint at the minute, but the boys have been really focused on the job and really fired up about doing well for one another.
And in that first half, Batley were coming down that hill. They had 2 or 3 sets of 6 a few times on the Featherstone Rovers line, and we just managed to defend stoically and keep them out, basically, didn't we? And to, so importantly, keep that 0 scoreline.
Yeah, I've been banging the drum all year about how good our defence is, and I think sometimes people just want to look at other things and not on the positives. Some people are naturally negative, and that's their prerogative. But we've got the best defence in the competition, and we showed it today, didn't we? For what I think 4 or 5 sets on our own line in that first half, we refused to give in and battled away for I think about 70 minutes before we conceded a try against a really good Batley team. So, credit to the D. It's been great all year, and it was absolutely outstanding again today.
It's a really blustery wind day today at Batley, isn't it? And there were a lot of towering kicks put in that Dave Scott and the Batley defence were having difficulty to defend. Was that a game plan before the game to do those kinds of kicks?
I think you never know what the conditions are going to be like. I watched Dave Scott in practice and he caught every eyeball, so it wasn't very much. We had our own difficulties, didn't we, with regards to misses, trying to take a few as well. But the conditions were, like you say, really blustery, and we reacted to what we saw with a kick that happened in that first half, and that first kick it gave us. Well, it could smell blood in the water, couldn't we? And we had to go for it. We had to be ruthless with it, and I thought we kicked well. I thought the Briggs was great, and I thought Thackeray was too, so our kicking game was superb today.
And the only blot perhaps on today's performance was that injury to Jamie Cordin. Have you got any news on how he is at the moment?
Yeah, it looked bad, didn't it? It looked really serious, and I know the physio took time to assess him and then get him off the field, but he's pulled up fine. Big relief, should be fit for this week.
That's good news. And we talked last week about it being 3 cup finals left, and you just talked about it being our quarter final today. So got 2 left now, away at Halifax next week, and it's about keeping that mentality up that we've shown today, isn't it?
It's about maintaining that focus, that mentality. It's about keeping the momentum. Got a group of players who are really confident in what they're doing and enjoy working hard for each other, so that's not a bad recipe for success. But we're coming up against a really well coached team that have got some real good players in their ranks as well, and they put us to the sword last time and embarrassed us. So we got some things to assess and look at with regards to what they did to us last time, and hopefully we can do that and deal with that and probably throw some things at them as well. But we know it's going to be a tough game. Semi-finals are. I'm pleased that everybody's fit and healthy, and we're going to go there with some confidence and give it a real good shot.